Hafaday, this is Congressman Michael Nicholas. Our veterans deserve the best, and I'm working hard to make sure they receive what they earned defending our freedom. If you need help receiving the benefits you earned from the VA or the Defense Department, please call my office at 475-6453 or go online at stnicholas.house.gov. On behalf of a grateful community, thank you for your service.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael Nicholas.
Hafaday, this is Congressman Michael Nicholas. Our veterans deserve the best, and I'm working hard to make sure they receive what they earned defending our freedom. If you need help receiving the benefits you earned from the VA or the Defense Department, please call my office at 475-6453 or go online at stnicholas.house.gov. On behalf of a grateful community, thank you for your service.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael Nicholas.
Hafaday, this is Congressman Michael Nicholas. Our veterans deserve the best, and I'm working hard to make sure they receive what they earned defending our freedom. If you need help receiving the benefits you earned from the VA or the Defense Department, please call my office at 475-6453 or go online at stnicholas.house.gov. On behalf of a grateful community, thank you for your service.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael Nicholas.
Funerals actually take a lot more planning than I expected. With us using island cuisine for the first time, of course we were iffy, but once they came and showed us their service, their food, tasted their food and everything, we definitely use them again because their service and food is just awesome.
After Guam, si Rod's Gimp introducing the 2020 Toyota Tacoma Access Cap T-Max. Este na mes, got to be promo United Airlines, $1,000 United vouchers. After nananga, sabik man manono si Tacoma, Guam, Tacoma territory. Text Rod's ginagi Atkins Pro Toyota, 671-788-2584. Alumbray, go si Rod's, sinanagan sa 671-788-2584. After nananga, let's go places.
Buenas Micronesia, I'm Troy Torres. Welcome to our studios here in Tumon, Guam. It is Friday, March 6th, a special kind of show just to do some live calls, maybe one live call, maybe two live calls, regarding the sailor from the USS Germantown who had some choice words about the people of Guam and how he wants us all to get effin sick. But before we do that, I had Senator Tello Taitigui in queue. I'm not sure if she might be in session, But there's a topic that senators are discussing right now, and it is called Bill 197. It's by Senator Amanda Welltown Shelton. And what she wants to do is give the University of Guam, among other things, unfettered procurement authority and also the authority to float its own bonds. Yeah, crazy. We just saw the news stories, I believe it was in the Guam Daily Post and Pacific News Center, about how the Guam Cancer Care Fund, which is managed by the University of Guam, is not giving money to the Guam Cancer Care Organization, which is an organization that provides a whole lot of treatment and therapy for cancer patients. And the professor who has been facilitating or is in charge of facilitating these disbursements to Guam Cancer Care is Dr. Rachel Leong-Guro. You can remember her name because Kandit has been doing a series of stories on credit card transactions using government-issued credit cards issued to University of Guam professors like Dr. Rachel Leong-Guro who've gone on shopping sprees. Specifically, she spent $858 on Fitbits, apparently, at Macy's department store over a couple of days last year. And there are other purchases that Dr. Rachel Leong-Guro has made. So in our estimation of things, it's, well, I guess it's okay in the fiscal sense of the University of Guam to use the government's money or the people's money on shopping sprees at Macy's, but when it comes to cancer patients, the University of Guam has absolutely no heart for that. And now Senator Amanda Welltown Shelton wants to give the University of Guam even more procurement authority to do as it pleases with the money that it gets from its students and from the government of Guam. The university is one of those few universities in the nation that gets a substantial subsistence from the general fund of a state. Most universities throughout the United States rely on endowments, on the gifts from its alumni. But because of the dismal failure of university officials to raise money, it's the taxpayers who have to bail them out all the time. And now the Guam legislature, at least Senator Amanda Shelton, Senator Joseph Augustine, and Senator Selena Nelson, who are the authors of Bill number 197, want to give the university this blanket procurement authority. Also the authority to issue advance payments, which is something that's unheard of throughout the government of Guam. The university also the Guam legislature also wants to give away its authority to approve bond financing and give that authority to the University of Guam Board of Regents and to the governor, which is unheard of in the government of Guam, and it's inorganic. This has been tested before. And Senator Telo Taidagui has been telling us that she opposes this bill, and so hopefully she is, she says she cannot take the phone call because she's ready to present her amendments on the floor of the legislature. They're discussing this bill 197 right now. And so, well, first of all, thank you to the senator for at least taking our call earlier, where she was sharing with us her disgust at this bill and what it plans to do. I was telling her, I was like, hey, you got to present to the legislature, to senators, that this is clearly inorganic, that the legislature cannot just give away its power or its responsibility to review things like this. We're going to write a blank check to the University of Guam, which has proven over the past year that it cannot operate its financials with integrity and with accountability and responsibility. It's like giving your 16-year-old child who thinks he's smarter than everybody else a credit card issued under your own name and hoping that your credit doesn't get screwed at the end of it all. That's exactly what the Guam legislature is attempting to do with Bill number 197. Let's go to your comments first before we move on to the next topic. Good morning, Daryl and Nancy Akira, who says, good morning from Ordot. Hi, Carl Fukuda. This is Buenas tardes from the 805. Check C Rods. Yes, Alicia. Check Rod Hernandez over at AK for your next car. Is your car getting all screwy? I was going to make a comment about another car agency, but never mind. Are you getting bad service from another car agency? Call Rod Hernandez at AK. Jacob Nakamura says, it's Friday night. You know what that means? Another party at Government House, probably. We'll check Kathy Flores' Facebook page to see if she's dumb enough to post up more pictures of cabinet officials with the governor and lieutenant governor getting wasted at Government House, the People's House, in their exclusive parties that they have there. Good morning, Charlene Odelia Paris Fong. Hi, Amy Jackson, who says, wish there was closed caption. I think she's in class right now. Jacob Nakamura says, what, is Amanda Shelton for real? Maybe she should give money to the family members of that Chuki's man killed in Anigua a couple of years ago when he was run over. Oh, man. Jacob went there. Jesse Mendiola says, Amanda won't make the 2020 cut. She'll be one and done in the legislature. Well, she's taking up about 3 seats in the Guam legislature. So maybe if she just clears the path for others, it gives other people a chance. Yeah, right? Nayam unat tansa. That's what they say, right, at the election. Just give me a chance. Rita Arceo Halfaday. Jacob Nakamura says to Jesse Mendiola, exactly right about Amanda Shelton's chances in 2020. Rose, I just don't understand why Amanda Shelton wants to give this power away. Bill number 197, go ahead and cast to my screen. You are, right? You're already there? Look at all this stuff that it does. It's like an omnibus bill because it does a whole bunch of different things. They talk about how the woes of the tuition increase and all that, and how in order to solve these woes, they need to diversify the university's revenue sources and give it the autonomy it needs. Au contraire, I think it needs the exact opposite. It needs to be reined in. Here they give some exemptions on the hiring of staff over at UOG, gives the Board of Regents the power to do it. Here it says it grants an exception to retirement fund membership. It kind of makes sense to exclude student employees of the university. That's just to bring down their costs so they can hire more students. It codifies the Center for Island Sustainability, gets rid of that old thing, gives some authority for this Sea Grant, blah, 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 talks about student employees. And then here, procurement regulations and exemptions to advance payments. Notwithstanding any other provision of law, whenever you see that language in a bill, you need to understand that the legislature is doing something that's going to dig into your pockets later. The Board of Regents is authorized to adopt procurement regulations. It says it shall be consistent with the Guam procurement law, but because they have a stupid attorney over there, we already know that it's just not going to go that way. Then this is the one that the senators probably are debating right now. It's the short-term borrowing provision. The board may at any time or from time to time by resolution adopted by a majority of all members of the board, there are 7 members, so it's going to take 4 people who are appointed by a committee that takes its cue from university management and its union, and approved by the governor, incur indebtedness for any lawful purpose for any period not exceeding 10 years, evidenced by contract with any person or by 1 or more promissory notes executed and delivered to any person. Look at this. They're giving UOG the right to enter into loans on your behalf. These are loans that will be paid with your money, with interest that will be paid with your money. And only 4 people at a time are going to decide whether to incur this indebtedness for UOG. This is crazy, and this is going to shoot down our credit rating with our creditors as well, and that's going to make everything else more expensive for all the bonds that we already owe. The legislature is stupid if they think that something like this should pass. And that's not even to mention the fact that this isn't even legal. The legislature just can't give away its power like that. They're so stupid, I swear. Long-term leasing and contracting, oh my gosh, look at that. I didn't even see this part. Before or under the Tom Atta law, you cannot enter into any lease or contract for longer than a 5-year period without the legislature approving it. They're going to grant an exemption to UOG from that law. They're so stupid. It's just so stupid. Buenas, Rosemary and Mary. Charlene says, what the hell is she going to do all that Fitbit? I know, right? Hi, Chelu. I hope your arm is okay. Jesse Mandiola's laughing. Thank you, Rose Santos. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Thomas, who says half a day from Florida. Hi, Denise Legaspi, who says, go get him, Troy. Jacob says, the key is who are the regents? Guaranteed Amanda is tight with one of them, and they are pressing for it. Isn't her boyfriend, she has a boyfriend, one of the big dingas on the Board of Regents? Tillicum. The other thing we wanted to talk to Senator Taitigui about is this issue with tax refunds. Now, Kandit put out a story. You can find it on our website at candidnews.com. And you can find it on our Facebook page as well. I can't remember the title of the story. It's something like tax breaks for the rich plus no tax refunds for the poor. We've been following the financials of the government of Guam as it relates to tax refunds for the past, it's been more than a year that we've been following it. And one of the things that we've been noticing is that the legislature, or I'm sorry, the administration has been slow in processing tax returns. As of the January report, January 2020, there were 4,460 unprocessed returns for tax years 2018 and prior, and more than 5,500 processed but unpaid refunds for tax years 2018 and prior. This doesn't even begin to include any of the tax refunds filed in just January alone for tax year 2019 refunds. A whole lot of money is still owed. The administration is still on, I believe, February or September 8, if I'm not mistaken, or September 10 of filings made by September 10, 2019. It's been a slow trickle of refunds coming out. And so we did this whole report about, and we'll present it probably in its entirety tonight. But we did this whole report about how how the issue is cash flow. And so what are the things that are affecting the government's inability to have this cash ready and available for the payment of tax refunds? And there are a couple of things, or there are like three things, main things. One is that the organic growth of non-discretionary spending in the government of Guam, makes things a little tighter, makes the purse strings a little tighter. The second is you've got bad fiscal policy coming out of the legislature and the administration about what needs to be paid, i.e. FESPAC, et cetera. The use of tourist attraction funds that can instead be going to pay for other things that either will increase revenue through economic development or can be pledged to the general fund instead because of the so-called excesses. Bad fiscal policy that prioritizes things that are not for education, healthcare, and public safety, or for infrastructure needed for economic development and better financial solvency for the government of Guam. But the third and probably most expensive of them all is the tax breaks that the largest corporations on this island receive, but also the evasion of taxes. And we go into a discussion about tobacco taxes. You'll want to see that report. We wanted to talk to Senator Telo Taitigui about it, but she's right now on the floor of the legislature making her amendments about, what exactly is the Guam legislature going to do about this situation with tax refunds? Because if we are still in September of last year for the payment of tax refunds, we're in big trouble because a whole lot of people have already filed for their tax refund for tax year 2019, and nothing seems to be on the horizon. If you think about it, in the 8 years of Governor Eddie Calvo's term, for 7 of those 8 years, he was starting to pay tax refunds in February. The only time he did not start to pay tax refunds in February was in his first year in office. Every year after that, tax refunds began to flow in February. We're now on March 6th, and we're nowhere near the point where the administration will be handing out tax refunds for tax year 19. I'm sorry to burst anyone's bubble on that, but unless there is a super infusion of cash, maybe coming from the collection of property taxes, I'm not sure, but unless there is a super infusion of cash that will pay off the tax refunds that are owed from filings from September 10, 2019 through December 31, 2019, we're nowhere near getting to the payment of tax year 2019 filings that were made just earlier this year. Yeah? Yo. Yeah?
Yeah. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Yes. Difficulties.
How long was it out?
It was just it going in and out.
It's breaking up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what Jacob Nakamura just said.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear? So Jacob Nakamura says, what does UOG need a bond for? They don't need $100 million. We already took 13% from the liquid fuel tax and built them the UOG CBPA building. What do they want a bond for now? Isn't Lou Leon Guerrero's sister-in-law on the Board of Regents? Do they just want more bond proceeds in their Bank of Guam? Most likely. Most likely is it. Half a day, guys. Hi, Marvin and Zena. Hi, Arsenio. Hi, Michael. Rose Dueña says, hi, honey, why do early? Oh, because we want to talk about this Jay Swavey, or what's his name?
Yep, you got it right.
Hashtag, or at Jay Swavey on Twitter. He took his Twitter down. Jacob Nakamura says, how come Amanda Whaletown Shelton hasn't taken a stance on the blood money bill and the increase in the number of auto pedestrian deaths in Aniqua? Well, we can surmise that she hasn't taken a stance on the blood money bill because she is the legislator who has taken the most amount of blood money into her campaigns because her family is part owner of those blood money machines. Half a day, Rods Hernandez. Half an ananga. Do we have the screenshots of the Twitter thing from Jay Swavey?
I don't have that.
Or do we have to go to the website? Let's see. Oh, but I don't think I can increase the thing on the website. Let me just go to the...
Yeah, I can do it from here.
You can do it from there?
Yeah.
I want to show people what this guy was saying. Oh, I got this right here. Go ahead and cast to my screen.
Okay.
What's up, bitches? Tweeting live from a pier in Guam, and we can't leave the ship because of coronavirus. LOL, yeehaw. You know, this either is a very misleading tweet or the Joint Information Center is not telling us something. Now, for the past several days, the Joint Information Center, and to understand what a Joint Information Center means, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. To understand what Joint Information Center means, the reason it's called the Joint Information Center is because when an emergency operation is underway, all of the entities, the public sector, the private sector, and the military consolidate all of their communication into one place so that there is not, because during an emergency, during a crisis communication is very important, and you want one place where the governments and the public sector and the private sector get information through and from. And so we have a situation with this whole coronavirus thing, and the government of Guam, through the Guam Homeland Security and the governor's office, the private sector through the Guam Chamber of Commerce, and the military through Joint Region Marianas consolidate their communication through what's called a Joint Information Center. And for the past several days, that Joint Information Center has been telling us that there are no confirmed or suspected cases of coronavirus on Guam. And so you would think that that information being pushed out to the public occurred through following the repository of information from both GovGuam, the private sector, and the military. Now, this Lauren Order, who purportedly is aboard the USS Germantown right now, is saying, tweeting live from a pier in Guam, it's Apra Harbor, and we can't leave the ship because of coronavirus, LOL, yeehaw. Maybe what she means, and I'm not trying to speak for her, but I really wish she would tweet more so we could find out more, since the government and the JIC are not being as responsive to media requests for information. Maybe what she means is that, like all of the other ships that have docked in hotspot areas, they are in some sort of self-quarantine to make sure that there is no coronavirus on board that they would be able to spread into their visiting ports, or that they don't want coronavirus to get on board if these sailors leave their ship and go on their, what do they call it? What do they call that when they have liberty? When they have their liberty and then they come back on the ship and then one of them has the virus and then they infect each other when they're at sea or whatever, right? Or Joint Information Center is not being forthcoming about a situation that's occurring on that ship. I don't know. I'm not sure what that means. We have reached out to both Jenna Blas with Guam Homeland Security and Captain Christian Hodge with Joint Region Marianas asking, what's the deal? What's up? Is there coronavirus on that ship? Is there suspected coronavirus on that ship? Because your sailors are saying something. This is probably the more interesting one. I think that got people mad is, hang on, this one. Go ahead and cast my screen again. Jay Swavey, he's taken down this tweet since last night. I'm going to guess the Navy knows about it. Guam definitely got me hella effed up. Then he laughs with the crying thing, and then he gives a brown middle finger emoji. I hope all y'all get effin sick. And then, we determined that this is one of the Germantown people because Brookie asked him what happened, and Swavey says, shit, they ain't letting us leave nowhere, LMAO, laugh, cry. We can't even leave to out on base. Someone needs to get this guy a grammar teacher, first of all. Grammarly? Yeah, somebody hook him up with some Grammarly. Brookie says, wait, WTF, why? Baha. Swavey says, they think we got the virus and they scared we gone spread it, which I understand, but damn, do a little med screen and let us off. It's simple. He's a scientist now. He knows how to do this stuff. Brookie says, ha. I'm sorry. Now, Captain Christian Hodge, for as many times as we sent messages to him, has not responded to our question whether the United States Navy would like for all Guamanians to get effing sick. And I know, the Navy, of course, is going to come back and if they say anything are going to say something like, no, of course not. We don't want all of Guam to get sick. And I'm sure that the United States, that's the last thing the United States Navy wants. But here is one of their sailors tweeting this. But what was more interesting to me wasn't that he wants everyone to get sick. I mean, that can flare some tempers and everything like that. It's what he says about what is going on in the ship. He says they think we got the virus and they scared we're going to spread it. And it sort of goes hand in hand with what Lauren Order, is that her name? Mm-hmm. Lauren Order said in her tweet. So this one came in at 2:45 p.m. yesterday. Lauren Order's tweet was at 6:05 p.m. And I'm very interested in what Guam Homeland Security has to say about this. Jenna Blas said that she was going to come out with a news release today. And when she said that, I just sent her a message back asking, is there or is there not a coronavirus?
Good morning, Guam Homeland Security Watch.
Hi, may I please, do you guys have any new information on the USS Germantown?
USS Germantown.
Yeah, the ship with the sailors who are in quarantine and saying that they want everyone on Guam to get sick.
I don't know of any information of that on me right now.
What is your holding statement saying anything about any ships?
No holding statement.
There are no holding statements right now?
No, not yet.
You guys don't have any single?
Not at this time, no holding statement.
So what are you telling the public when they call about coronavirus?
We forward them to public health.
Oh, so public health is the command?
The lead agency.
Is Jenna Blas there?
Jenna, what?
Thank you.
Yeah, you can get a hold of Jenna.
On her cell?
Cell phone, here's your number. Office number 478-0208.
Oh, you cannot transfer?
No, nothing. Phone.
Okay, so is Jenna in the office?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Your call is being answered by audit. Holiday, this is Jenna.
Hafaday, Jenna, this is Troy.
Hi, Holiday Troy.
Hafaday, hi. So, are you guys able to answer our question on whether there is any confirmed infection or suspected infection or PUI aboard the USS Germantown?
Okay, well, the latest release that we issued did have that information that there was no person on board who was a person under investigation. They didn't meet the requirements to even get tested.
Okay.
There were 3 people that were, I'm not too sure, did you receive that release?
No.
I think 2 days ago.
No.
Okay, I'll send that to you so you have all that information. But there's going to be an update on how those passengers have been cleared. I think there are 2 of them. I won't be able to provide all the details because we're standing by for official information from our partners with Joint Region Marianas.
Okay.
But I did receive feedback that there were 2 of them that were on board, and it was it turned out to be I can't get the exact sickness that they had, but they didn't meet the requirements to even be tested. And just out of an abundance of caution, what they did was they just monitored them until their symptoms had passed.
So there were 2 to 3 people aboard the Germantown who were exhibiting certain symptoms?
Yeah, there were 3 of them. There were 3 of them on board.
Okay.
Hang on, let me pull up this information. Just
Thank
hold on.
you.
Okay, so again, this was released on March 4th. Updated information will be put out today.
Okay.
There were 3 individuals who were evaluated by Naval Hospital Public Health at the time, and they did not even meet the CDC criteria for
Okay.
a person under investigation.
Okay, so they've been cleared.
Well, they still had 6 symptoms.
Okay.
So what they did was they monitored them, and they were standing by until they were all cleared.
Okay.
And we're standing by for that official information from our partners in the military.
Okay.
And so we'll be issuing that statement shortly.
Now on.
But in the interim, I'll send you this press release so that way you can see what we were talking.
Thank you. And then onto the related issue. And I don't know, since it's a JIC that's been set up, I guess everything would be filtered through JIC and not Captain Hodge on the related issue of the Jay Swavey who hopes that everyone on Guam gets effin sick.
Yeah, I don't have information on that. Again, we're working with our partners, and I did speak with Christian. They are tracking that. We did see that email that you sent us to both of us,
Yeah.
and those screenshots. So hopefully he'll be able to have an answer for that. But I'm not tracking who that person is. I don't even know where these are coming from. But
Okay, yeah. Can we ask for a comment from the Navy on that? Or from the JIC, I guess, since it's joint information?
yeah, specific to those messages you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Jenna.
I'm gonna follow up. Okay, thanks, Troy.
You have a good day. Bye. So the latest information from the Joint Information Center is that a couple of days ago, 3 people were exhibiting certain symptoms, and out of an abundance of caution, they were evaluated by Naval Hospital, though they did not meet the CDC thresholds to be a person under investigation. And hopefully later today, based on whatever information the Navy is able to provide the Joint Information Center, there will be an all clear issued for those 3 people after, did she say that they were tested? I don't think she said they were tested, right? She just said that they weren't exhibiting, or
Yep.
they didn't meet some sort of criteria or something.
Right.
Maybe we should play that back later on today, but I don't think she said that they were tested. But maybe whatever information that Joint Information is going to provide will give us. So let me just go to your comments first before moving on. Where did it go? Here we go. I'm seeing some cool comments here. Good afternoon, Lynn. Alicia Canata says, the throne of lies, I tell ya. TJ Duenas says, Hoffaday from Bismarck, North Dakota. Hoffaday, hi, Auntie Janice. Alicia says she will tweet in 14 days. Their tweets have been taken down. I bet they were. Hi, Lakeisha Pareda. Jacob Nakamura is laughing. Joey Ninesi says, they can't even confirm if it was a meteorite or a freaking rocket from China. Operate and maintain a swimming effing pool. And a senator that can't even decide what last name to use. Please do not depend on the government. They have this virus under control when we are supposedly dengue free. Holy shiz, Guam really gonna sink with all the corruption and lies. Joey Nanesi, we all need to go have lunch or drink someday. Alicia Canata says, so dead. It's a freaking ship, not a tugboat. Hi, Carl Blas. Hi, Jennifer Kavanaugh. That's all we have for you for this morning. For Candid News, I'm Troy Torres. We'll be live later on tonight with that full report on tax refunds and tax breaks and bringing more about how tobacco companies are skating and why the Leon Groh administration isn't doing anything about it. Thank you to our sponsors and to our advertisers. We very much appreciate it. To the advertisers who are in the queue, thank you so much for bearing with us in all of the craziness that goes into production work and public relations and all of that stuff. For all of our advertisers on our website, thank you so much for sending your Google ads that way. We very much appreciate it. For Candid, I'm Troy.